Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, we're starting.
Yep.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Story Break, a RocketJump podcast.
Oh, here we go with the morning edition theme. They're going to get after us. NPR's going to sue our
Come at
asses
me,
into the
NPR.
ground.
Every podcast I
This
listen
is
to
fair
has so
use.
much
This is
copyright
parody.
music.
This is Story Break. I guess we don't really need this now that we have a
Red
theme
Bull?
song. And we have Red Bull sponsoring the show.
That's true. Story Break
Okay.
is a writer's room podcast where Hollywood's raddest writers wrestle with story beats in a race against time. We have an hour to try and break a story. I tried to go with the
wreck a
R.
story.
To wreck a story into pieces. I'm joined, as always, by William Campos to my left.
Hello.
And Matthew Arnold to my right.
Hello.
So we
This
were...
one's gonna suck. Just heads up.
Yo, everyone, just skip this.
Just
All
2 days
right,
just
two in a
get-
row.
Yeah, so
It's getting weird.
So Will
Just
is
skip
going
this
to be on vacation.
I'm on a vacay starting next week.
Yeah, so we're cranking a few in a row this week. So we're in here in the room for the second time.
By the time you guys hear this, I will be in sunny Michigan visiting my parents. I'll be listening to the episode from Michigan with my parents. So let's make it a little bit
Let's
less
make it a
blasphemous
clean-
than yesterday's episode, boys.
It'll be a clean one. Well-deserved vacation there. And Matt as well going to be on a road trip that I may be joining you. Well, no, I definitely am actually now that I'm looking at the schedule for a piece of. So we're recording some in a row here, and took to Twitter, tried to find some stuff, and we were talking about like ideas, kicking some around, and we settled on one. We want to do.
And I'll see if I'm pronouncing this right. I believe it's pronounced PUBG. Is that it? PUBG? We're doing a video game I've never heard of called PUBG. It sounds like an obscure indie title that no one plays.
It's an obscure indie title. I don't know if you guys heard it. It's called PLAYERUNKNOWN'S BATTLEGROUNDS. We're gonna try and break the story for it. And
Battlegrounds.
before we get into it, here's the
Well,
caveat.
after we did our small indie feature, Dirty Dan.
That's true, yeah.
RocketJump desperately needs some bucks, so
We need some bucks.
kind of sold out and went for the biggest game happening
At the
right now.
moment right now, yeah, which is they must just be like just
All right.
happy as clams over there in
I am
South
a total
Korea.
fucking noob at this game. I have never played it. I've seen Matt playing it. It makes me tense to watch it. I'm looking at the logo for the game, and there's just a guy in a tie with a helmet and an assault rifle and a weird welding mask.
That's the level 3 helmet. Will.
What gentleman is PUBG? PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds all about.
Yeah,
and by the way, kudos to PlayerUnknown, this guy I've never heard of.
Oh yeah, talk
having
about
the
taking
fucking
the
nuts
fucking
to just put in your first game.
PlayerUnknown
This
presents.
is my game. Can we should have done that with Video Game High School. It should have been.
Matt Freddie Bryan's.
Oh
Will-
yeah, that is
Will
true.
Freddie
That
Bryan,
is.
Matt.
I can't think of any other name. I
Jeff.
can't think of any. Now that I think about, it, I can't think
It's
of
like
any
Shigeru
other game.
I'm sorry, and
It's like-
maybe I'm taking a shot wrongly at the creator of one of the most popular video games, but it's not Notch's Minecraft. It's not Shigeru Miyamoto's
No, but
Mario.
PlayerUnknown's.
Because there's a game that just came out.
Even the acronym has his name in it.
Yeah, he's 2/3 of the acronym. Is this guy's name? Have the acronym.
Here's what it is, and here's the caveat, folks. We are well aware of a movie/book property called Battle Royale, which is absolutely what the inspiration for the gameplay of this is. So here's the story. So there's a game called we'll go a little bit farther back. There's a game called Operation Flashpoint, which was a super
Which was a
duper
Donnie Yen movie.
which was a super duper real, like it was a realistic military shooter.
I
Like,
Are we
remember
doing a story?
Flashpoint,
Are we doing
yeah.
a story of the history of the game?
I just want
or-
to get Will up to speed really
Just
quick,
get me up
and
to
also
speed and our
get the
listeners,
people who
Matt.
aren't giganto nerds like
Just
us.
Relax. No, but give a little historical
Little history
context
of
is
it.
fine.
All right. I'm gonna remember this.
You know
when
what?
we
This
have 3
isn't-
minutes left. I'm gonna remember this when we have 3 minutes. Explain.
All right, I'll
This
put it this
isn't
way. I'll put it
Matt
this way. You know
Arnold's
what?
story
You know what?
break,
I'll put it
okay?
this way. I'll put it this way. If you guys don't like our fun Jack Jog, why don't you hit at Matt L. Arnold and tell him directly to not stop ruining your
Explain
fun.
the history of the game. Go.
Just very quickly, it was Bohemia Interactive. They made a game that was like a broken and very, very janky, realistic shooter. The kind of game that has like that's like, oh, 9mm ammo. Did you know that comes in like 8 different varieties, and all of those varieties are in this world, and they need to fit into your gut, like hardcore military sort of
So
thing.
yeah, a big boy military sim.
So it was, and then they made Arma 2. There was a series of mods that came out after DayZ. So DayZ was a big mod, and then another set of mods called Battle Royale. That Brendan, player unknown, was the sort of author of. So he was a mod guy, kind of like a
Okay.
So kind of like a
I'm
Counter
kind of with
Strike.
Matt. I think we need to hurry up.
Oh, yeah. So
I'm
here's
ahead.
what it is.
I'm already thinking about the whole story of why you guys do this.
Yes.
So just pitch me the game.
People don't know the game. Come on.
It's an old. Okay, so
Here's
it's
how
a
the mod
mod
works.
of a popular, ultra realistic
and
military
here's
shooter.
here's
thing.
how the mod works. Very much like Battle Royale, if you're familiar with the movie, or
Could you
Hunger
explain
Games.
the history of Battle Royale to me as well before we dive into
I actually can. That was a World War II Japanese novel. Anyway, so the way the game works, you have 100 people. You jump onto a large island. It is kind of Eastern European-ish. Like the names are Eastern European. It has sort of Eastern Bloc sort of architecture, and it's empty buildings. It's playgrounds. It's fields. It's hills. It's forests. And there's small towns, little villages. There's weapons and vehicles scattered around. And as time goes on, a circle closes in on where you have to be. If you're outside the circle, you start taking damage. But as time, so basically forces everyone into a very small spot in the island as over the course of approximately 40 minutes to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour.
And the last person alive or the last team alive
is the winner. And the winner, and in the lore of the game, what the message you get is it says winner, winner, chicken dinner. So as a result, all the various ways you talk about is, you want to get some chicken dinners tonight. You want to go El Pollo Loco. Oh, you want to get that protein, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that is, in a nutshell, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
To clarify, 100 people go on this giant cargo plane and fly over this island, and at any point you can jump out. And then once everybody's landed, essentially this giant force field, which kills you slowly closes in until it's like a small, football field size spot.
Until it disappears to nothing. Actually.
Oh, does it eventually?
Eventually,
I guess
yeah.
I've never gotten to the point because then
if
I'm at 100 yards, I'm winning.
It's because you're noob trash, Matt.
I've only gone chicken dinner once. It's
true.
I'm a starving young boy.
You've only had one chicken dinner.
Yeah.
This sounds like a fun game.
It's a
It is
very,
very
very
fun
good game. I've cranked 200 hours into this game. I've actually played this game more than any game in recent memory.
All right.
Anyway.
So now I'm seeing a lot. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of wacky outfits on. Is it like a?
So you can find clothes.
The one time I've seen it, Matt was just running around in his underwear playing this game.
Yeah.
So
Matt was even in his under most of the time.
You start out in your underwear, which I like. It's very sexy.
You can.
There's a bunch of sexy people in underwear jump onto an island and then they fight to see who's sexiest. I get it.
And by the way, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to not do the movie Battle Royale or the movie Hunger Games.
Okay, no, all right. Here's the first thing we're gonna do. The movie's gonna open with this smartass who lands on the island and he goes, "Isn't this just like the book Battle Royale?" And then all of them shoot their rocket launchers at him and blow him up. And it's like, we don't care. Everyone said that about Hunger Games and it was like, shut up. Like this is Battle Royale was just Lord of the Flies. Like it's like
It's also Battle Royale is a government program for troubled teens.
So is there any lore on why this is happening in the game?
I don't know.
So no, not really.
Here are my two questions for the movie. I think need to be answered. One, what is the chicken dinner? Like at the end, what do they eventually get to at the end? Is it just a chicken dinner, or is it? So, by the way, I want to find a way to tie this into if PlayerUnknown's going to put his fucking name on this game, he's going to be in the fucking movie too. So let's get there in a second.
Yeah, we're not doing the Battlegrounds movie. We're doing
I do as a small detail here, I do want to point out that early supporters of this game and were able to get access to a cosmetic item that was literally PlayerUnknown's trench coat that was modeled after the trench coat he wears in real life.
Oh my god, this guy rules.
Yeah. And then the second thing is also how do they get here? Like, is this like people choose to go here? Like they're prisoners.
Is it just hungry people?
Is it just hungry people who want chicken dinner? Why are they here? Like those are the two questions.
So I mean,
it's all people who signed up to receive a free chicken dinner. Like through some mystery offer, and then like a
so they're trapped
here,
like
Cube,
essentially, or what's the one where they all have the same birthday in the motel?
Identity.
Identity, is that it? Yeah, okay, so something like that. Is
that the John Cusack one?
Yeah, John Cusack one.
I remember seeing that in a theater, and like my arms were crossed the entire time, and just squinting at the screen, like I don't know about this.
All I remember is that premise.
It's a good premise.
Yeah, then I think halfway through it becomes like Psycho or something.
No,
it's a very dumb
spoil
ending.
It?
What?
I can spoil it. Yeah.
Spoiler warning. They all turn out to be elements of the same guy's psyche, and it's a guy who's getting killed on death row, I believe.
Yeah, whatever.
That's a good movie.
It's very rainy and lots of motel shots.
Okay.
Right now for notes, I have what is the chicken dinner? PlayerUnknown's trench coat. How did they get here? And Q.
Also,
they now?
Also, canonically, Red Bulls are on the island.
There are canonical Red Bulls.
Yeah, there are. Because
the way you can heal yourself is by popping pain pills and
Max Payne style,
chugging
I like it.
chugging Red Bulls.
Well, the energy of the Red Bull helps you run a little faster, which lets you outrun that force field.
I've had many.
Oh, and how is there a force field?
And what is this force field? Yeah.
I also say I've had many Red Bulls, and they have not made me run faster.
I remember, just a quick side story. I do remember in high school track, like chugging a Red Bull before a before a pole vault meet, and I believe that's the one where I slammed into the side, into the standards, and bonked my head.
So just so we're clear to our lawyers, Red Bull did injure you.
Yeah, dude, I ate shit. Like it was one of those ones where you heard people in the stands be like, "Ooh," like you hear that, it's like a bad sign. Like, so yeah, don't do energy drinks.
So Red Bull did not give you wings. Is what you're saying.
No, it did
by
not.
the way, this is a sidebar, but at some point we're going to have
ground.
to do a story break about your pole vaulting career.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, the
That should
Freddie
be tomorrow.
Wong
Freddie's
ace pole
vault
vaulter.
story.
Yeah.
Like if he didn't become a filmmaker. Well,
Also,
okay,
really quick,
now that's all I want to think about. So we have to move off of it very quickly. Otherwise, that's what we're doing now.
Okay, I do have very juicy details.
Okay,
but
No. Okay,
no. We're not going to talk about the pole vaulting thing.
Back on track.
I'm going to
Back
throw
on
this
track.
in there as
Stay
an
on
idea.
target.
Okay.
What if Freddie is one of the people on the island?
Yes.
That is so bad.
No, absolutely. No, because if this is going to be a video game movie, they're going to need some influencers and popular YouTube personalities.
Oh, that's right.
Which, I mean, I guess Freddie's still considered a popular
Neither
YouTube
of those
personality.
things. No, not even. This is how you knew, by the way, it's transition.
Twitch
Is that when
streams.
people recognize me, the verbiage goes from present tense to past tense.
Oh,
It's
yeah, I
like,
remember your
yeah,
stuff.
I used to love your stuff.
Oh, no.
I'm like, cool.
It's, better
This
than,
is exactly what we
become
want.
a YouTube influencer than to not have been an influencer.
I just like the idea of that we're
It's
going
better to have loved and lost.
There you go.
I like the idea that we're gonna do a PUBG thing, and it's gonna be like this is us casting an ad out to reach a wider audience, and the new people come in to listen to this, and
it's just like Freddie Wong's
it's
gonna be
all,
in it.
It's all about how it's just us trying to figure out how Freddie should be in the PlayerUnknown movie. Anyway, moving on. I don't think Freddie should be in the movie.
No. I think
Thank you,
PlayerUnknown.
Will.
I like the idea of PlayerUnknown being like the omniscient voice or the mastermind.
That's
behind
true. It
this.
is
The mystery
It does
man,
have
yeah.
it does have unknown in the title.
Yeah, I like. And then there was one.
It's his
And then there was none.
battlegrounds.
Wait, what's the?
And then there were none.
Yeah, then there were none. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Like the
Or
like the
several
omniscient-
extremely racist variations of that title therein.
But yeah, you know how there's like the omniscient voice.
And then there was none actually with the prequel to Sister Act.
What? Oh,
God damn it, Freddie! No! Ah! Oh my God, that's so good. Just call it there. Sister Act 0, and then there was none. That's so fucking fresh. I can't handle it. All right,
Freddie won.
Freddie won. All right,
I'm on
Freddie won the
fire today,
podcast.
boys.
Let's just do that movie. Okay. All right. So all right. So PlayerUnknown is this mystery man.
Like I feel like his voice is in the cargo plane because in the video game you don't. In fact,
He's
in
your-
the game when you're in the cargo plane, it's just everybody screaming racist shit.
Yeah.
Because the voice chat is like localized, so you can
all
hear people
chat.
around you. So everybody's in the plane, so people are just screaming. Like they're just.
Oh, yeah.
Or people play music. It's
Oh,
horrible.
literally. So
the worst part of the game.
it's so many N words.
Yeah.
Like I run a soundboard to play Sandstorm because I've found that it actually improves the lobby experience because it goes from people calling everybody like N words to people being like, "Oh, I love this song." I'm like, I can live with this. I can live with this. vision of
Darude
the
once
world.
again bringing the world together. Okay, so PlayerUnknown is your Jigsaw essentially, like this psychopath who named this island after himself.
Yeah, which I think people being here without a choice is probably stronger dramatically.
My question was like, do you do like these are all military people, like they all have experience with firearms and stuff, or are they just like what is your vibe? Okay, because I'm assuming there's no lore whatsoever.
No,
It's just
the
you're on this
vibe
thing.
is definitely randos.
It's just you're just a rando.
Like you
You're not,
definitely
like-
have people who walk around and like they I think it's the whole gamut, right? And I think that's the fun of these movies is it's always like the sort of like the cast of people that are like here's the teenager, here's the actual military guy, and and people generally, I'll put it this way, people generally pair off into groups of like like you can play in groups of 4, so it's like teams and squads, but some people also roll solo, so it's like you can have that crazy like weird character, like the weird weird psycho assassin character, which was also like Battle Royale, like the one guy who was like really into it. Like you can have that one guy rolling solo as sort of a Freddy Krueger-esque, like, you know, omniscient bad dude. You have sniping, you have...
Yeah, I definitely think as the movie, like your main character's experience is going to be more like my experience playing than Freddy's experience, which is, I feel like, a loser idiot is surrounded by paramilitary master sharpshooters and shit.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Whereas like when I watch Freddy play, he's just like running around shooting people and just laughing.
Well, but I want to put it this way. One of the things that I think that this needs to have is that you need to have some of the insanity that happens. Like, right, there's stuff where like people like drive their motorcycles like off a ramp onto the roof of houses and then like jump off and kill people above and stuff like that. Like that level of like action insanity. It shouldn't just be like a straight head on the ground.
It feels like basically what we're pitching here is like Saw about an action movie. In terms of like that, like I think you start with someone waking up on this plane. Right? Like, I don't think this is like you start with an act one and he always wanted to be a blah, blah, blah. And then he gets bonked over the head and he wakes up. Like, you just start with someone coming to on this plane and they're like, what the fuck? And then other people are waking up around them and they're on this plane and none of them know who the other people are and what they're doing here. And then Player Unknown starts talking. You know, they bust down the door to the...
This is Player Unknown, the man who made the movie and the video game. And you can just send your money directly to me.
It should be that it is Player Unknown.
Yeah.
And he got so rich off of this video game, and then he went insane. Yeah. And no one's heard from him. And then he's playing out his own video game.
It's
in
the
real
most
life.
dangerous. Okay, it's essentially the most dangerous game.
The most dangerous gamer.
The most dangerous gamer. It is. Yes, PlayerUnknown's become so rich. He's got so good at first-person shooters. The only thrill was to make real-life first-person shooters, right?
Oh, he's like secretly one of the guys.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Because he always wins chicken dinner. Always. He's so good. And then the only thing that could satisfy his FPS love now is to play real-life FPSs.
Dang.
And now he sets up this 100-person game that he wins all the time. Little does everybody on this plane know that PlayerUnknown's with them.
That feels like a really good twist. That's like that. Yeah, that's not something you reveal up.
Oh no, absolutely not. Of course, no, they absolutely don't know that. I mean, just like Saw, like you don't know that he's one of the guys. It'd be like of course, there's like this nice kind guy, you know, that he teams up with, and of course, that's PlayerUnknown.
You know, because people might think that right early on. Here's how you fix that. Right, here's how you double bluff him. In the video, he's like, "I may even be one of you," and everyone like looks around real quick, and he's like, "Nah, I'm just kidding.
I'm dead.
I'm died many years ago." And everyone's like, "Oh, okay." And then in the end, when it twists, everyone's like, "Wait, I never thought he could be because of that joke," but then it turns out it was a twist. Done. I think this is like a light comedy as well.
Wait.
Or instead of a voice, you just have a video and you see him, and he's clearly not that guy.
Well, I also like the idea that you do like it all builds up to that. But again, it's like there's only two people left, and then he literally just sits down and has a chicken dinner with the other guy, right? With whoever the other winner is, and this is how he's trying to make a friend. It's like, you're the best of all these people. Like, tell me about you, right? And then after they finish their chicken dinner, it's like now we fight.
Oh, it's a dope ass pistol duel.
Yeah. Now I see if you are the one who will finally kill me.
Okay, hold on.
He hasn't found a perfect friend yet. He always ends up having chicken dinner, and then as you talk to him, always goes to like, "Hey, you love Star Wars, right?" And the guy's like, "Nah, I don't like Star Wars that much." And he shoots him in the head. He's like, this guy wasn't my best friend.
Really quick, what if this was the thing where he's like, whoever wins this, right?
Wins my fortune.
Yeah. So people like either volunteer or maybe they don't volunteer then. Maybe they got press ganged into it. But something about the idea, right? Like this is.
Oh, I like him. I like when you reveal that he's in the game, and they're like, "You cheater!" He's like, "You think I'm not man enough to defend my own fortune?" He's like blowing people away. It's like, of course he's in the game. If the winner's gonna take his fortune, he's gonna be in there to defend it because he's a man, and he's got like this trench. Yeah. So if you win, you get chicken dinner, which is his fortune, which is actually just a piece of chicken because he's poor because he spent all his money.
He spent all of his money on this stupid island.
It costs a ton to kidnap 100 people at a time.
I'm almost out of money.
This business is very break-even sort of business.
Listen, there's not a lot of revenue here.
So he sells Twitch tickets. Streamer, gamer, billionaire who
has gone insane.
Who no longer does any FPS. No FPS is hardcore enough to satisfy his kicks. So he's made a most dangerous game-esque game for him to play in to find an ultimate friend.
I don't know if it's necessarily
I do honestly believe that this should also be like a light comedy as well. Like it should be a fun, like a little fun and goofy.
It's that's what the game is.
It's weird. It's got to be like, again, I think actually Battle Royale is not a bad tonal reference because that movie's funny, but it's dark and
that's true.
fucked
that's
up
true.
movie.
They
That's
have
true.
force fields.
Well, that's half
So
of
it's
his money
very
went into
wealthy.
developing force field
Do people,
technology.
does the world know about this? Okay,
I think it's
so-
got to be secret.
Yeah.
It's
So
gotta be
just
a
people get
secret
kidnapped.
island.
Secret.
He spends all year. He plans for this every year. He
He
spends all
picks
year.
the people.
100 people with different skills and abilities
Yeah.
that are going to be fun to play against and watch on his birthday. To make this really twisted. Every birthday, he spends a year fighting 100 people and then he kidnaps them all. And then on his birthday, he plays this game.
He plays this game with them. He's this tragic man who.
I want to go into the fun cast of characters that we have. I think we have the loose framework of like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I get the more or less the
we can
thrust
kind of
it,
figure
right?
out what the ending is at a certain point. But yeah, let's figure out who are
like our
main,
fun cast of
Yeah,
characters.
who are the
Okay.
main? Nobody chose to be here other than PlayerUnknown, who's setting up this game. Is what we're
Yes.
saying right now.
It's a real game of death type.
So maybe for some people, there probably are people he doesn't have to kidnap. Like, right, like he probably like every year is like, you know what, I love like 10 private military guys. I just go there and I just freaking
Pay
kill
'em.
Like they don't know the whole deal. They don't realize only I just pay
Yeah,
them
yeah.
$1 million each, and those guys are the best. No, everybody's kidnapped.
Everyone's you gotta do one or the other.
You know what?
No, because
you know what? He has to. He
It's just
has
weird that he's gonna just throw a bunch of. It just they
You
know.
have to. You have to have because again, talking about like again, what you talk about in terms of like a video game adaptation is like what is the feeling of playing it? What's the flavor of playing the game and trying to capture that in the movie? He has to kidnap a bunch of super racists who are just screaming epithets in the back of the plane. It's like, oh, we're surrounded by, and then, right? And you're just like, ooh, I want those racist guys to die. I think I'm thinking of a goofier movie than you guys.
No,
are.
it could
no, I
be
want
goofy,
it to
but
be
that's
goofy.
just it's you could kill. I mean, there should definitely be some racist people that you kill, but them just screaming racial epithets is not goofy. It's just probably a
All right,
mix.
all right.
Well,
all
yeah,
right.
but then they get
Yeah.
ejected out of the plane, Matt.
The moment everybody's on the same page, but you have somebody people who are different, that's a way to make them instantly intimidating.
Right.
Like if everybody's waking up like, where are we, including these paramilitary guys, they suddenly seem less powerful because like they're confused too. But if you have everybody like, where are we, and then you know the same way that Battle Royale was like the guy who's been here multiple times. Like all the kids are panicking. It's like, oh, like I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. Like I've heard it on the
Oh,
TV.
and he's this one guy's seen.
He's
it
like,
before or
I
whatever.
chose to come here again. And they're like, oh shit, that guy's crazy. Like, and again, if you're all panicking, there's like 10 military guys who just already have their rifles out. They're like, yeah. it's
You
like,
have
we
no
got paid
guns.
to
You
be
have no
here,
guns.
Or whatever. Oh, yeah, you have no guns. Yeah,
You have no
start
guns. Come on.
in your underwear, naked.
In various states of dress, there are you have tank tops. There's
Yeah, but it's like 100 naked people jumping out of an airplane. Into
Yeah,
the
that's much
wilderness.
better.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
No,
There's
because
they
you
show
know
up,
this
they're
because
all
you know
naked
this
at the
because you do find clothes on the ground.
Also, I
Yeah.
respect PlayerUnknown a little bit more if he's also just butt naked in the plane.
That's
like,
true.
It's raw. He's
That's
just like, I'm
true.
primal.
That's
I'm
true.
starting on my birthday. I'm in my birthday suit and I jump out and I earn every year I live on this planet. It's his philosophy.
So he's fun.
PlayerUnknown, you've earned your name on your game.
Yeah.
You're pretty rad.
Okay.
Now I know why the movie is called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It's his battlegrounds, his proving grounds.
These are his proving grounds.
Yeah.
This is his battle.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Characters. Who are we with? Who are we with?
School teacher,
There is a school.
He's not from the school.
paramedic, a real estate guy,
Plucky Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
Actual Twitch streamer.
actual gamer.
Freddie Wong.
So web Britty. Who else do we want to see on this island?
Skater boy.
Skater boy.
Skater
That's officially the main
boy.
character. They're all naked.
See
but he
you
still,
later, boy.
But he still has a skateboard.
No, how's
so
it?
he does like
how's
a
this?
sick
Real quick.
skydive.
Real quick.
with a
Everybody,
skateboard.
everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And you look over, and there's still one guy in his underwear, but he's got his iPod Nano in, and he's just rocking out to sick tunes. Like, who's this dude? And he's like, he's in it. Maybe that's him, but it turns out it's not. It's just a guy who really likes music.
There should be. Oh, you know they
Music
should all jump
man.
out. There should be somebody just to start this movie off with a bang. I know we're talking about characters, but fuck that. We're talking about 100 people shooting each other.
Oh, yeah.
Is that they hear this when they are told what's going to happen? One person should panic and just just open up the door of the airplane and jump out, and then the body just flies into the engine and explodes the engine, so the plane starts burning and flying. So everybody's desperately jumping out. It's like
that's a
right
good
away,
call.
it's like this plane's exploding and people are jumping out, burning already.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Somebody
cool,
should just
yeah.
freak out and just jump out.
Yeah,
Okay.
or they fuck
That's
up, yeah.
Skater Boy. Skater Boy, you feel like he's the main character right away, and he slowly panics.
Because I was just about to say you need that like that Deep Blue Sea Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah.
moment. So you need like one of these guys is just like fucking like I like Keith David in The Thing, or like
Yeah.
you know like Kurt Russell, just like this like I'll see you assholes down there, and then just jumps and then just
Oh shit!
Go, go, go. And then all
Yeah.
these 99 now naked people just jump out of the back of this exploding airplane. That's pretty good.
There is plane wreckage on the ground, which is kind of fun.
Oh yeah. Oh, and what you could do is there shouldn't, right? They're like that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So you do that's how they could find out who PlayerUnknown is, because this plane is supposed to fly. They all jump out and it lands, and it has whatever his wallet on it or something, a better MacGuffin. But
Wait, wait.
They can
airplane
investigate
has
the plane
evidence
wreck.
that PlayerUnknown is one of the 100 and gives them information. Usually the plane would never land on the island. The plane flies over, drops them off, and lands. But since the airplane exploded, it crashes on the island, and the main characters find the plane wreckage at some point, and they're looking for supplies, and they find MacGuffin 1 or whatever that tells.
Oh my god!
Wait, really quick. So you know what's fun
It's
about
a note
this?
that says "PlayerUnknown is one of us."
So you know what's kind of fun about
He
this?
knew the plane was going to crash.
So you know what's kind of fun about this, really quick, is that you could do. Okay, sorry, excuse what I'm about to say for just a second, but you could do an actual like weird like transmedia multiple narratives like thing where you could get like a bunch of directors and be like, all right, here's the story of like these 3 guys who were holed up in this corner of the island and their last stand, right? Like it doesn't even need to be a movie, right? You can have your movie that's like your main character all plot all the way through, but you can even do like, you know, you could do like if you were doing this online, it was like a
You want
streaming
us to
thing.
break multiple stories?
No.
now?
I'm just saying that what's so fun about where it's like if you want to get into like, hey, like here's a
You could
fun,
definitely do the you know standalone web series. Of
right, yeah, that's
Skater
what I'm saying.
Boy who.
Right,
Skater
that's what I'm
Boy
saying.
who-
Like you could do like a cool like, oh, if you want to just see like here's a cool
There
like
is- I can-
shootout in an
Yeah.
apartment complex and it's just a whole 20-minute long like short.
Yeah.
That's like that, and it's like, oh, this happened during this match. Like it's all the difference. That's because when you're playing it, you always be like, man, what are all the different? Like we know our story because we're
Yeah.
following, but it's like, man, what's happening over there? You hear like a whole bunch of gunshots and stuff, and you can make it be like this, you know, transmedia experience, bro.
I don't know about transmedia, but I did leap to my mind. I'm like, could you do this more as like a TV show than as a movie? The thought would be like, would you do it like, again, if you're going to take a season, right?
Yeah.
And then how big is the radius of the thing? Like
10 by 10 kilometers. About.
So 10 kilometers, right?
Yeah.
So then the name of the first episode is 10 kilometers. And then the name of the second episode is 9 kilometers. And
I
then
guess
8
that's
kilometers.
fine.
And you know what I mean? And it's just you're following. And again, it's like Lost meets Battle Royale, essentially. Like you're following, it's them figuring out the mysteries and stuff like that. And then it's just like slowly the cast is getting, it's like Game of Thrones, but you know everyone's going to die. It's just like this, like you're turning the
It should be like
screws.
24, and every kilometer should be an hour, and it's real time.
The following takes place.
Because it shouldn't be the idea. You definitely don't get a sense that this is multiple days or anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So
I mean, yeah, the gameplay takes place in real. I would either way, I would do it as a real time movie.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
either do it
absolutely.
real time as an hour. How long does the game normally
About
take
an
place?
hour.
An
About
an
hour?
hour.
Yeah.
I would
mean,
either
you could
do-
stretch a little bit. You say hour and a half and make that movie, you know?
Yeah, you could definitely do. But yeah, I mean, I guess we could decide because I think it could be cool to do. Nobody's done it since 24, but do.
Well,
like,
sorry, less than an hour. But like, yeah, you stretch it out.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely, and also like games always feel compressed. Like I don't think you.
But really quick, but just again, then just I just
But putting
But yeah.
format aside
Yeah,
for
yeah,
now.
format aside. But yeah, just with the main character.
Well, I won't say we should. I
or the
mean, not-
main thread, the main storyline thread.
Well, not to be
even.
picky, we should probably settle on a format because I think that changes how you would do the characters. If it's a TV show, it's going to be definitely multiple characters, teams, groups of characters
Right,
following,
right.
and it's definitely going to have to be more mystery driven. If it's a movie, it's definitely going to be less mystery. Like you'll have the mystery because you're going to reveal PlayerUnknown is actually on here, and you'll have like 1 or 2 turns, but it's going to be much less lost. There's going to be more Battle Royale or Hunger Games.
I want to figure out
Maybe the character helps us.
character's going to help, and in
Okay.
terms of figuring out like what kind of stories you're trying to tell. Like the first thing that always leaps out to me in something like this, and I think you see in Battle Royale, you see in a lot of stuff, is like there can be only one, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And so then naturally that brings you to like these people either have a pre-existing relationship when they land on the island.
Yeah.
Or they form a relationship, and
But
then
it's a tenuous
The question is like, are they going to turn on each other?
Right.
Or
Like,
when. If it's
Are
or
they-
tenuously, when are they going to turn on each other? And it writes the struggle of being a moral or good person in a situation that you're forced to
not
act
be.
one way.
Yeah. Everything Belko experiment,
Yeah.
all your closed room horror movie type of situations.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
do you do a thing where, like in the Community episode where they kind of mock the Hunger Games Battle Royale thing, is like, do you get to the point where, you know, if you accept the reality that there's only going to be one, do you work together to, again, do everything you can to protect each other, but eventually, like, as good people settle on, like, this person has a family back at home, like I'm just, because, right, you get into the existential crisis, like Skater Boy, let's say, like, the Skater Boy is part of the group with, like, a married couple, and the husband and wife are going to decide who, and then, like, you know, like, professor who has a family and is like on the verge of solving cancer. You know, just Skater Boy suddenly realizes like my life wasn't really worth living so far.
All I can do is indie nose bones.
Yeah, you know, it's like, do you get into that sort of
sacrifice?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Crisis.
Okay, this is. You get to the end and it's this woman and PUBG. And he's like, I said only one person can survive on this island, and then you realize she's like fucking 4 months pregnant or something like that. He's like, you must choose.
Oh my god!
Just get to that abortion, dude. Just do it. Just do it. And then it's like, holy shit! I don't know. Anyway,
what would you choose, Will?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. Depends on the character we crash.
You know how you solve that? You just end the movie before she chooses, and then you say it's ambiguous to the audience.
Oh, it's up for interpretation. Ooh.
Interpretation.
What do you think she did? It got you talking, didn't it?
Yeah.
It got you thinking, man.
I did my job.
This answer will be solved with a Facebook poll.
Yeah.
The end of the credits are, what was that exorcism movie? It just says, if you want to see what she chose,
Oh,
go to
man.
youtube.com/RocketJump and see the end of the movie.
All right. We gotta get going. We gotta.
Who's the character?
The force field of story break is closing in on us.
Okay, somebody wakes up and they're going to be the person we're following.
Yeah.
So
It's an everyman, right?
yeah, I mean, that's
or
usually
every lady.
Yeah, because Hunger Games actually does a good job of bringing in the main character because they make the main character like the one person sacrificing.
Can we please have, by the way, one of the characters be that they are a Battlegrounds player?
Oh, totally.
And then they realize that the entire island is set up exactly like
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
in the video game, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
they know where all the shit is.
Yeah.
Okay, so to clarify, the lore is
That feels like a sidekick.
The lore is that literally PlayerUnknown got so good at FPSs that eventually made his own FPS.
Mm-hmm.
That became the most, and even when that became the most popular game on Steam, even that wasn't enough to get his rocks off. So he had to literally design.
It was a real, and
I love that.
Yeah, Alexander wept for there were no more worlds to conquer.
Yeah.
He created the greatest video game of all time. What was there left for him?
Yeah.
Like he had to do something even greater, right?
Yeah.
So thinking about this is like, so his story is like one of like unsatisfied ambition. Like I'm trying to think of like if you're talking about like the bad guy being the twisted mirror of the,
So let's start with our dark mirror. And
I'm just trying to think like
back.
maybe what could be a character that, because this character eventually is going to come face to face to PlayerUnknown, right?
Right.
And then if it's a good movie, it's that makes them realize something about themselves. And then, so I'm trying to think. So it would be
Someone without ambition, something like an aimless millennial, just
it'd be somebody
chugging
who has-
avocado
it'd be somebody-
toast.
there should
What?
definitely be.
It's really good. I like it.
Ugh, millennials. It's
Hey,
a
guys,
bunch of millennials.
Hey, PlayerUnknown is a millennial, right? I mean, clearly he's.
The millennials have killed every industry, and now they must kill each other.
That's pretty good.
The reclusive CEO of Buffalo Wild Wings has brought all of the millennials who killed his restaurant empire.
So Gamer Bro feels like a sidekick character.
Yeah,
to me,
no,
right?
Gamer
like it's
Bro
like they
gets
team
killed
up
at some
right
point.
away.
Yeah,
But they team
Gamer
up
Bro
right
is
away.
your Skater Boy character, I
Yeah.
think. Is that
Let's call him Skater Boy because that's fun.
Yeah, Skater Boy.
Skater Boy.
Skater
He could
Boy's-
be a gamer. His screen
He
name
can
is
skate
just
and play video
His screen
games,
name is definitely
guys.
Whoa, we don't
SK8.
want to make him too
Too
cool,
cool.
Freddie.
Okay, so we have. Because you're talking about the one person who actually plays this game.
Yeah, it's because like
It's good. It's like
it's your entryway in.
Yeah,
as
well,
a-
it's your expert. It's your
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so Skater Boy is our gamer, right?
Yeah.
He was a gamer boy. See you
God,
later,
he's so
boy.
cool.
He's so
Guy's so
fucking
cool.
He
fresh.
skates,
This
he's really
kid.
good.
So just really quick, just
Oh,
just first answer that comes to your head. Does he vape?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
he's definitely-
Three S's. Three S's.
Okay. Here's the plot of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds: is PewDiePie hires a bunch of kids on Fiverr to come to an island so he can hunt them for sport.
Okay.
And the Wall Street Journal's like, "This is interesting." And everyone's like, "How dare you report on this, Wall Street Journal?"
Wall Street Journal, how dare you do basic
Oh
journalism?
my God, so biased. Let PewDiePie murder people.
I'd watch that.
You know what's the problem with doing like, it's like, oh yeah, this is a classic thing, but it's actually, in terms of breaking something in an hour, this is like almost a harder way to go about it because it's such a tabula rasa. Like it's like you can just, we should do tabula rasa for story break. It's such a blank slate. Like it could
I'm
be
saying.
anyone. Yeah.
Well, then,
Yeah.
if it could be anyone, let's go to an
okay.
online character generator.
No. I'm gonna fuck around with that.
If you're not starting with some sacrifice to get in here, you're starting on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably going to want to start, then what is this experience going to be for this person? It's probably going to have to be some sort of, again, like Saw, is going to be the reason that,
I think you do. Why did he pick these people? Why did PUBG pick these people?
yeah, But I was going to say, for the main character, I feel like the journey is going to be the realization of wanting to live, right? It's going to be a test like Gravity or Battle Royale. Or like it's the existential crisis of like, are you going to fight to survive? And then as you actually do fight to survive, like, and you get past your evolutionary instinct to survive and you get into like that next level where you're face in the mud and your body's telling you to quit. Why do you keep fighting? And so I feel like somebody who...
This is trite. And I give this, if this is crass from like a mental illness perspective, then we don't have to do it. If we're talking about, just guys, I thought this could be a crazy way to open the movie. What if you do it with someone who attempted suicide? And then you do like, whether they swallowed pills or whatever, or they jumped off of a bridge, they woke up here.
So they thought they were committing suicide,
and then there's an extra element of like, is this purgatory?
Yeah,
is this hell? Like, where am I?
I don't think it's crass. I think.
I mean, again, I don't want to. But I just also, before we dive too much into talking about suicide and stuff, I don't want to put that out there. Like, we're talking about that.
It puts you exactly.
To get story break real for a second. Sorry, because as a person who had a best friend commit suicide and is currently on antidepressants, I think that's an interesting way to take the story. And if we approach the subject matter incorrectly over the course of 3 minutes, we apologize in advance. But I do think as somebody who's even thought about like how would you do a story that deals with suicide and somebody who has found like many stories based like that Pixar guy did that short that went viral everywhere. Do you remember the cowboy? I hated that short. I thought that was the worst
cowboy with the
remember
watch
the cowboy and like the dad falls off the
Was that a suicide story?
It's
kind of because the guy was about to jump off and he finds his dad's watch 40 years later.
Oh yeah. Anyways,
by the way, not to throw shade on that.
Also, by the way, just to be clear, I just want to make this point. People use the phrase from animators at Pixar pretty loosely in the animation world. Just saying.
Let's shit on PewDiePie and Pixar and PUBG this episode.
The point was not to throw shade on it, and it's just I'm trying to be sensitive about that subject matter.
Okay.
I think that is a good hook. And now in the crass way, I think that's a good hook into the movie. And I think if you're going to do a story about somebody fighting to survive, somebody who had recently just accepted,
right?
Somebody who had recently decided not to. But again, it's tough because it's like decide not to gets delicate when you're talking about suicide.
Yeah, because it's not like a necessarily
rational decision. Oh, this episode got really fun.
No, all right, but again,
but
whether
it
it's
gets
a suicide attempt or not, it reminds me of. Did you see In Bruges? In Bruges, that's the arc of the main character, and In Bruges is this guy who was racked with guilt over this having accidentally killed this kid, and then literally the last lines are he's been shot, he's being rushed out, he's been doing voiceover the whole movie, and he's being taken to the ambulance, and he's like, oh God, I just want to live, like I want to live, and like it's just this sort of like him kind of emerging out of purgatory, sort of this purgatory that he's put himself in. I think. Yes, this is obviously this is a survival story.
Yes.
Right? And again, if you're going to talk about the mirror of PUBG is just trying to find a meaningful death. Like he wants someone to finally kill him.
He's also looking for a reason to live, essentially, right? Because this person is so desperate that being successful, making this game, nothing gives him meaning anymore. This is his twisted way to find meaning in his life, which is the same thing as finding a reason to live, right?
Yes.
PlayerUnknown and our main character got to a similar point. PlayerUnknown made this horrific game that will kill hundreds of people to satisfy his reason to live. Our character decided to, for the lack of a better term, give up his life, right? Because he couldn't find meaning either. So those are the two opposite ends of this story.
Yes.
Of the characters. Okay.
Whether we go with that specific hook or not. Someone again who has and again I don't want
guilt
I'm using. I feel like I don't even know the terminology to use to not be offensive about this because I don't know if giving up on life is like a loaded way of saying what we're trying to say. Okay. Oh God. All right.
But look, there are different reasons people commit suicide. Right. I think what we are trying to portray is this is a character who has ultimately given up on
I don't think they were up to a point in their life where they saw no other option, right? Like, there's a desperate person who was in a lot of pain who made a desperate choice to kill themselves and then woke up. How would you play? Is this what is their interpretation of what's going on here? Is this a second chance? Is this like...
Yeah, that's a good question. Because I definitely think, since they were starting in the plane, this would be a thing you reveal later. When they're figuring out how did we get here, the main character doesn't want to talk about how he gets here, and then eventually he reveals, was I jumped into a train or off a building or whatever it is, and then they're like, holy shit. And but again, if you want to go really twisted version, it'd be like, what better than somebody so desperate? Like, this is the sort of person who will fight for their life or something. Or he found some twisted way that people who are like that, I don't know.
This one might be nitroglycerin. That feels a little too hot to handle.
Well, okay, what about somebody who has guilt for a past transgression, right? Like, just to take.
By the way, Girl Scout for sure should be one of these characters.
Oh man, she uses the crossbow.
Okay, so we know the main characters. Two buddies are Girl Scout and Skater Boy.
I like a Girl Scout being one of these people for sure.
Okay, be Skater Girl and Boy Scout. No, it's Girl Scout.
I like Skater Boy and Girl Scout. I think that's a fun team.
Much more fun. But could it be like instead of suicide, is it like guilt? Right, he killed a bunch of people.
There are a lot
with
of
a car
people.
accident.
Again, it could be. That's the thing. Like, it's gonna get so trite and pulpy so quickly. Like, I feel like
because it's a goofy ass movie.
I feel
based
Suicide.
On
it's obviously
game.
a little less. This is gonna sound crass too. It's a little less like politically charged, but it is as I will say this: it is as shittily used as rape is.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. All right, forget Suicide again.
If you're gonna do it, it has to be a movie about suicide, which I don't know if this pulpy, goofy movie is appropriately about suicide.
That's yes. All right, yeah. All right, yeah.
That's a guilt. He hit a bunch of car accident, drunk driver.
I mean, honestly, I'm not saying Breaking Bad did this, but it's like, okay, it's Skater Boy and Girl Scout, great. It's an older brother who got into a car accident because he was driving drunk and killed his little brother and little sister. And he feels guilty he's going to kill himself. And he shows up and he finds another little brother and little sister. And he fights for their life. And in the end, he gives up his life to save them. And then he wants to live in the end and he dies smiling. Whatever it is. Like there's your suicide movie bullshit. Okay, let's do something else. I like Skater Boy. I like Girl Scout.
You know what it is? Here's what it is. Here's why you don't do the suicide thing. This is not to do story don't break. Why you don't do certain stories.
Story don't.
It's like
story glue.
It's like really you're ultimately the message at your end of this movie is like, well, suicidal people need to just be taken to an island and fight to the death to find their will to live again. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think you can do that. Somebody you see people get a new lease on life after having a near-death experience, but I'm not going to present that as the cure-all to a mental illness. Like that's like saying someone will get over being schizophrenic.
Or Gravity did it appropriately. Yes. It's not a movie about killing other people to survive. It is a movie like literally poetically placed back into the ether as just dust in the universe. And you fight back and she's reborn. Like there's the appropriate way of doing it. Okay. So who is our main character then?
Okay.
Skater Boy and Girl Scout.
Skater Boy and Girl Scout.
Maybe it's a duo.
Holy shit. Let's go with who are, again, like I'm trying to think of, some archetypes that would be fun to watch on this thing. Again, like Train to Busan leaps out at me as an interesting one to look at. Like, again, they had that really great father-daughter relationship.
Oh, fantastic.
They managed to build the whole movie around that, right? So finding a relationship to build it around.
Okay. Maybe it's a little bit like to borrow from Die Hard and Taken. I haven't even seen Train to Busan, so I just know it's like
you
a
would
father
love
story,
it.
right?
You would love it.
Yeah,
it's a great
desperately
movie.
Need to see it. But I wonder if it is like an estranged father, divorced, didn't have it, and he was coming back to see his kid finally. He's been gone for 3 years.
He got on a plane, he fell asleep, he woke up on another plane.
But something like that.
Like he's trying to get to someone.
Yeah, like he left for a job that ended up ruining his marriage. He's been trying to get his life back online and et cetera, and he's going back to his kid's birthday. So he has this ticking clock also. Like he wants the moment he was like, I'm getting my life back together. Like that moment is the same moment that he's thrown into this thing of like, now you're going to be tested. Like, is your life essentially worth fighting for? You decide that you're going to go see your kid. You're going to apologize to your wife. You've, quit the shitty job that you left everything for, and you're doing what you always wanted to do. And then at that moment, the moment he gave himself a second chance, it's taken away, and he's going to fight for it.
It's a dad movie.
Right, Ross is to be a dad movie. I mean, look, if it's gonna be a Girl Scout and Skater Boy, it's a little bit like
his dad figure trying to be like, sure, whatever, kids.
Oh, it's
sure,
totally
whatever.
Jurassic Park. It's totally Jurassic Park.
The lawyer?
No, the main character of Jurassic Park. He's got the
Alan Grant.
Yeah, he's got the boy and
surrogate,
the girl with him.
it's
like surrogate father is this guy essentially. Right, Jurassic Park is essentially a person who doesn't want to get married and have kids. I mean, that's like the ultimate actual emotional story of that movie.
Life,
and then he becomes a dad in the end.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, life finds a way.
All right,
to make
Girl
babies.
Scout. We got to figure out the Girl Scout more. Skater Boy, gamer sidekick, dad or mom trying to get back home? Question mark.
Oh, I know how we can make Skater Boy not super cool. Is that Girl Scout should be the one who plays PUBG?
What does Skater Boy do? too.
Skater Boy's a skater. What do you mean? Skater Boys are not playing PUBG during the day. Skater Boys are
all you skater boys who are skater boys by day and PUBG players by night. Go ahead and hit Matt L. Arnold on Twitter.
Okay.
It's just a little bit more of a fun twist too that you have this, fun Girl
fair.
Scout who, and then
he just rocks, and she's like, we gotta avoid the apartments. Everyone jumps military
No,
base.
because her thing should be her Girl Scout superpowers. She knows how to survive on an island, right? Like she's gonna be the one who can make a fire and can track people and can do fucking cool tie knots and shit.
Okay,
like,
so she can
that's
actually...
her expertise. I don't think her expertise
Okay,
should
that's
be
fine.
the video game.
So then the chemistry between Skater Boy and Girl Scout are...
Should be the dad should be the PUBG player.
No, I was gonna say Skater Boy knows how to survive on PUBG. She knows how to survive on the real island, so they get in arguments all the time. We're like, we gotta go to the school. That's where the best guns are. And she's like, we can't go over that hill like at dusk. Like the people are gonna smell us downwind or whatever it is, and they get in all these arguments.
Oh, it's all the real life shit.
Yeah.
It's all the like, don't you get it? Like sound travels.
And then they realize that you need a synergy of that. In order to survive in the real world, you need both knowledge of video games and the real life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. We need some bad boys on this island who are.
Well, we don't have our main. Oh, yeah, I guess we kind of have. Okay, our main character is trying to get back home.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, okay, then let's figure that out.
I just feel like I see so many shitty dads. Like I just feel like Hollywood exists to make shitty dads feel good about themselves.
Okay, he's a really good dad.
I don't know. I'm not trying to be difficult.
Let's find
let's
let's
not
find
go to
the bad guys. Let's find a main character.
It just feels like we're like, oh, Train to Busan did it. Let's do that.
Let's find a main character.
Okay.
Or it could just be an ensemble webisode series where you can just do a whole bunch of characters and it doesn't matter.
Okay, it's a stuntman because I'm looking at this motorcycle helmet.
Oh, a stuntman.
Yes,
I
Hollywood
like
stuntman.
a stuntman.
Okay, Hollywood stuntman.
And he knows how to do stunts. That's what he brings to the
He
equation.
brings well, of course, it's like, right, if this guy's going to kidnap people to fight them, he's like, yeah,
He's gonna get whole range,
I need some stuntman, I need some skater boys.
Needs
I need
at
some
least
skater boys.
2 skater boys. He was walking by
Oh,
the
there should definitely
Safeway.
Every year a PUBG player who shit talked him on Twitter gets abducted.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's
Absolutely.
Skater Boy's backstory. Is he realizes he sent a mean
yes.
tweet to
Oh,
PlayerUnknown's.
That's
God,
very
that's
good.
so good.
There are definitely some revenge killers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very
And he's
good.
like, all right, you think you can take me on?
Oh!
It's anyone who sent him a death threat. Like, I'll fucking fight you, dude. Like, your game
That's
sucks.
one way
I'll
they
kick
start
your ass.
revealing. That's one way they find out. They start figuring out who PlayerUnknown is because like everybody else is just fighting for survival. But they're like, why does this one guy keep hunting you, Skater Boy? And then and then once they realize he's here, he's like, yeah, all I did was I just shit talk that game all the time. And they're like, what?
Wait,
see?
the game. Player unknown.
I love the idea that PlayerUnknown's in this, and definitely he's like, I really want to kill. I want to make sure I'm the one to kill Skater Boy because I probably specifically because he called me a name on Twitter.
All right, Skater Boy, Girl Scout.
Biker man.
He's a QA tester.
Oh, stunt man.
Or QA tester. Very similar.
Tester.
Yeah, we just call him QA.
We just call him Q. I mean, there's the fun.
It's
of,
like the guy in Sword Art Online. He was a beta.
That's
He's a
true.
beater.
You could also do the thing where it's like Wanted, where he's just a boring guy, and then we'll just figure out some cool like hidden backstory for him later.
Yeah, that's why that sucked. Well, the character of Wanted is, I mean, it's a power fantasy. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
fair.
kind of enjoyed Wanted, but it's a
actually did like
trashy movie. And it's
Well, I
essentially
mean,
like
it is
it's essentially
to be
here's
fair,
a lame beta male like who can't get his shit done and works at his shitty
Now he
office.
can curve bullets.
And watch this. Now he fucks Angelina Jolie and curves bullets and kills everybody. Fucking rad. That's essentially Wanted. So we could do that movie, but that's pretty easy to break. We
Good
just
movie.
did it. It's shitty beta male goes to the island and kills everybody because he's so fucking cool now. So
Nice.
we've done 2 movies so far. Let's figure out the real one.
Who's your guy on the island who's like the businessman in Train to Busan who fucks everybody over? Like who's the out for themselves main
Oh, you gotta do like a Wall Street
you
guy.
see that classic thing? I mean, it's usually a Wall Street guy. It's like you see the classic thing is like the person who seems like a nice person, but then once you strip away all pretext, they are gonna kill anyone and betray anyone to survive, right?
The person who goes onto the PUBG Reddit and plays PUBG really hard.
I thought that was a Skater Boy.
I know, but I'm just thinking you're saying that. It's like the cheese, obviously
No,
like, it's a military guy or is this, but like, why don't you just fucking take a jab at shitty gamer culture? Be like, no, it's a freaking gamer that plays this game nonstop and does nothing else. That's as toxic of a thing as
That's just
Wall
not
Street.
Interesting though.
Okay.
Because no, here's what I mean.
Yeah.
Here's what I mean. Like
Yeah, to me, like the soccer mom
best,
who like
the best of those
mom.
soccer mom. Like the most iconic of those characters. Like it shouldn't be someone that you expect to be again. That's why I like subverting it with Skater Boy. That like it is like yeah he plays this crazy violent game, but like he's
But he's not
a
the bad guy.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so
Soccer
would you be
mom.
saying another gamer
Soccer
or
mom.
like?
I don't know.
Soccer mom.
Like a soccer mom, something in that wheelhouse. Do you know what I mean? Like someone, if you're going to talk about like
I mean,
someone,
I'm just saying you can do. I mean, like again, the bad guy in Battle Royale is very good, and that's just a crazy. I mean, there's nothing
Crazy
subversive
teen.
about
There's nothing
that.
ironic
He's just
about it,
He's just he's just a super vicious, angry teen.
Which you really don't see in
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, I
Western
don't think I've
culture, by the
seen.
way.
I don't think I've seen Gamer Gators as a bad guy because
fair.
either people are scared to bring it up, including saying that now it's we're probably tagged for saying the word, or because it's not even in the.
I think all the
mainstream
Gamer
culture
Gators
yet.
tuned out after we talked about trigger warnings for suicide.
Yeah. Or after I said skater girl instead of skater boy. They just turned it off.
Once the
and
word
started
trigger warning
masturbating
come
to
out of your mouth,
whatever.
it's a
Yeah.
trigger warning for people like that to stop listening because they hate you now.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
I don't know. Oh no, this is the part of the
Soccer
podcast where I go
mom.
blind.
Soccer mom.
We just need to pick a main character. Yeah, we just need. That's what we're missing.
Honestly, I like a soccer mom as a main character.
Okay, soccer mom is main
I like
character.
a soccer mom as a main
fine-
character, and she's just like she was just trying to fucking pick her kid up from hockey practice, and then
Okay.
she got hit by a car, and then she woke up on this goddamn island.
She's pissed because she's never late picking up her kid.
Yeah, it's like
And you made me fucking late.
like it's like this like she's got a lot going on, and now
what's-
she's just
you know
more
what's fun
bullshit
about
she's
you know
got
what's
to
fun
put
about
up with.
soccer mom driving around Skater Boy and Girl Scout is there are cars in the game and she can be like they all get like we gotta go and she's like everyone buckle up and they all have to buckle their seatbelts as bullets ping off the hood and then
Very
she
good.
tears out.
Okay,
very
soccer mom.
good.
So she's a soccer mom. What is her life?
Well, it's like maybe it's like ambitions unrealized, the suburban sort of dystopia.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that because that's what I was getting to. Because I don't want to do that. Like, I mean, not to get too much into it, but like, my wife is just as annoyed at the idea of like anti-soccer moms.
Oh no,
That's
I
fair.
agree. I don't want to do that at all.
So like it's like Ashley's mom just
I'll tell you-
is a stay-at-home mom because
This is
she
going to
didn't
be our
need to
new
work
thing.
and she loves taking care of
We're
her
going to
kids.
shift from wacky aliens to mom stories.
Okay.
It's just the next 5 episodes are all about how we love our mommies. I'll tell you a story about my mom.
Yeah.
Cool. Mom story time.
We were watching, there's this great movie called
Yeah.
Panic in the Year Zero, which is this 60s pulp post-apocalypse.
it's
One of the first post-apocalypse
it's one of the
movies.
first like atomic bomb like
Yeah,
on-
so basically
yeah.
it starts in LA. This pop singer's in it as the teenager. So it starts with this family. They're all packing up their station wagon to head out of LA into the Los Angeles forest to go on a hiking trip. And as they're driving out of the city, the fucking nuke goes off in LA in the rearview mirror, right? And they just barely made it out of the city just on a pure chance of luck. And now they're camping in the woods, and you're just watching like civilization is kind of falling apart around them, and they're trying to defend themselves against bikers and stuff like that. And there's this moment when, because this was written in the 60s, right? And the dad is like this strong, strapping dad, and then like they get sort of assailed by highway bandits, and they've got guns on them, and there's a gun in the back of the car, and the mom's got the gun, and she's too scared to use it. And I was watching this with my mom, and my mom was like, "Will, if I was in that situation, I had that gun, I would have killed those guys." Like, she was like, "That's bullshit." Like any mother would fucking drop those dudes in a second, right?
Yeah.
So what I could see as being interesting, you have this woman, she's trying to get back to her family, right? She is trying to like, I'm a mother, I'm separated from my kids, I need to get back to them. But is she gonna kill these two kids to do it? Do you know what I mean? Like there is ultimately like it is what I mean. In terms of like, I like movies where sort of value systems collide, right? You look at The Godfather, right? And in any other movie, like I need to protect my family, I need to stand up for my family and be loyal to my family is a good thing, right? But what if your family is the mafia, right? So now justice system, morality, and family collide against each other, and that's what he struggles with. In this, like the will to survive, the will to protect your children, how far does that extend? What are you willing to do to do that? And so I don't think it has to be that like, oh, she wanted to be a dancer or a corporate CEO, but she got pregnant or whatever. Fuck that. She loves her life, like she's trying to get back to it. And then I think, but she also has a protective instinct. And she's a good person, right? And then like there are people on this island that need help, and she's going to help them, and they're going to help her, and then she forms this kind of ad hoc family. And like I don't know, maybe you could do something there. Like maybe there's an interesting.
Even if she's like, I mean, just two examples of just speaking about one of my best friend's moms and my mom. Like my mom met my dad. They're both bankers. She had like a successful like before we moved to California and the whole banking crisis, like we were pretty well off, like in New Jersey, because they were both bankers. When she had kids, like she raised us until we were essentially until we were old enough that my older brother could walk us to school. So like he was 4th grade or whatever, and then she went back to, she always wanted to be a teacher, and she got her job and she went to teaching. Right. My best friend's mom also more or less a stay-at-home mom, but then she was a nurse originally, and she went back to nursing pretty quickly because that could be night shifts. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sleep,
Right.
the dad comes back and they work really hard.
Yeah.
So like maybe her being a nurse or something could be, like, I'm trying to think of, like, as you said, like somebody who instinctually wants to help people. Like the idea of like somebody being wounded and healing that person is like, wait, you're just.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's one less person you have to worry about.
Yeah, that guy's shot on the ground.
Just let him die.
Let
Like
the force field get him. It's not you just all you have to do is look the other way.
Yeah.
She's not the person who's going to do
You're
that.
gonna have to kill that person later, and then her response will be like, "Then I'll kill him later." It's like it reminds me of like Redbeard when he beats the shit. In Redbeard, he beats the shit out of everybody, and he's a doctor. In Redbeard, he beats the shit out of everybody, and then once he's done, he goes to his assistant. He's like, "Bring all the splints and the bandages."
Yeah.
And he picks them, then he fixes them because like those are two different. He can compartmentalize. Those are two different things.
That's kind of interesting.
But what is she trying to get back to? Obviously her kids, but like what was the situation? Like if we're not going to avoid shitty
I
guys,
also
not
like
she's a
that you
single
do,
mom.
again, I feel bad because I'm sure the actual PlayerUnknown is a really good dude. Like, I'm sure he's not this weirdo psychopath we're making him out to be. But it's like, now I'm like the idea of this unknown person, right? And like, this guy just needs to, it's just like the last
Needs
scene
a
is like
mom.
a shitty kid and his mom being like, what's wrong with you? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
It's like Fargo.
It's like Fargo, yeah. It's like it's
it's
Francis
Fargo.
McDormand and Fargo being like, you're just putting people into wood chippers for God's sake. Like, that's just messed up. What's your problem?
That's very good.
Okay, so they wake up on the thing, right? Actually,
Yes.
wake
Sarah.
up on
Sarah.
plane. Sarah,
Soccer mom.
Sarah's soccer mom.
Soccer mom.
Soccer mom.
Sarah, soccer mom, Gina, Girl Scout, and Skater Boy. Skater Boy is his name.
Okay.
We're moving on.
Okay.
All right, so, PlayerUnknown announces,
You're all
You're
here.
all here to
hey,
fight to the
assholes,
death.
You're going to fight to the death.
I
right?
could be among one of you or not.
All right, so
We're keeping
all right,
it.
you're
It's
all
in.
going to die, right? So they all jump out of the plane, right?
You have parachutes, jump out at your leisure.
I think that first choice, again, it's everyone for themselves,
Yeah.
right? And it's like boom, boom, boom. You know, like that. It's like
Yeah.
that crazy opening in the first
Yeah.
10 seconds of the Hunger Games game
Yeah.
where they're all murdering each other, right? But it's like you would do. She lands on the ground, right? And she's
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit, what I'm gonna do?" Her first choice is going to be to choose to help someone as opposed to fucking abandon
it should be
them.
right when they jump out. You want to talk about like again at first
Someone's
like
stuck, and he's like, the
skater
plane's
boy,
going
the skater
down.
boy's acting all tough. He's like, I don't know where the fuck I am. What's going on? And then when they start saying what's going to happen, Skater Boy, tough teen that he is, starts breaking down like a little baby and crying, and she helps him jump out of the airplane. Like right away, you see she's as everybody else is just like see fuckers out there and then like
Yeah.
jumping out and shit, or somebody pushes somebody out and kills them right away, or the engine goes. She takes this quivering child and is like, "Stay
We
with
gotta
me,"
go.
and she jumps out. Right?
Yes.
So right away we see she is caring. She is probably going to have a tough time out there when
Yeah.
this is going to be a game of last man standing or last woman standing. And
Okay, so then Act 2 is her and Skater Boy are land on the
yeah,
island,
and they
right?
probably meet Girl Scout.
Or because honestly, the other thing you could do is like she helps this kid out, and then they jump out, but they don't necessarily land together,
Yeah.
right? And then she's fighting for survival, but then she meets you would do that. She's rewarded karmically because she is trapped and she's about to die, and then the kid saves her.
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I feel like that's more or less your first act leads up to their handshake
Yeah.
moment.
You should do literally as they're jumping, like how they get separated. As they're jumping, she's just concerned about the plane blowing up, and then a guy literally is like mid-air, like starts choking her, you know, and that's like how they get
doing an
cool.
intense skydiving.
Yeah, like even
sequence would
before
be
you
really
get to the
cool.
island, like
Yeah.
it's already started. People
Yeah.
are like trying to kill each other, or like trying to steal her parachute or whatever. Would be pretty intense. Okay, more or less, the first act is here's the situation. She
Yeah,
jumps, and you're showing that she is going to care for this child. Yeah, she's rewarded karmically for that.
Yeah. And so then it would be like our best chance at survival is to X, Y, or Z,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yes.
he is going to go to some place, right? Where
Name a place, Freddie.
Where do you? When you guys play Battlegrounds? What's your first thing? You tool up, you get you some guns.
Tool up,
right?
you go to one of the larger sort of loot places, and then places that are safe. I mean, okay, so places
There
that
are like little parachute loop drops and stuff
Pick
like that
one of the
too,
small
right?
cities. There we go.
Severny.
Okay, they go Severny. He's like, we should go Severny. It
It's
doesn't have the
north,
best
it's-
loot, but there's less. It's like likely
It's
that
out of the way. The circle looks like it might be closing around there. It's like
Yeah.
we can go into this little village.
I like
sort of
that
town.
because they're not going for the
hardcore.
Everyone else is running for the. Okay, by the way, just to interrupt, because we didn't explain this, but periodically during PUBG,
loot
parachutes,
drops out.
loot will drop with like a.
By the way, that's a fun crisis moment when they look up. They're like, "Oh my god, like
it's
what? It's like
dropping right
there's a
on them.
drop coming here." It's like, "Wait, that's good, right? Like there's stuff in there." It's like, "No, that means everyone's coming
Okay,
here."
that's a good,
that's a
third
cool
act, like
siege moment
thing.
in the middle of the
Yeah.
town, small town fight, like back and forth.
So basically, yeah. So this is the thing: is that loot will drop from the sky with guns and armor and stuff like that, and then you have to take it, and it's a risk reward thing because you can go get it, but everyone else
Everyone's
is
coming
so
for it. You hear like all the vehicles starting to roll.
So
over
I like
them.
that they're gonna. Oh, so they're gonna go to Severny, right? They meet up with the Girl Scout. They get hit by a trap that she set. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
she's
like her being like, I'm gonna kill you. She's not even loaded her gun yet or whatever.
Who?
Because she's just a kid. The Girl Scout. Like
I
like
think
that.
the Girl Scout's hardcore. I think.
So why wouldn't she kill them? Why wouldn't she?
Because he knows the map.
Oh, that's fair.
And he's like, I can, they're able to. She agrees provincially to work with them because like he knows like where or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Third act is a siege.
Like loot drop siege.
I was gonna say you could also do like they get to Severny, but this guy is there and it's PUBG and they don't realize that it's, or it's this player unknown and they don't realize that it's him. But again, of course he would go to the same spot because he knows the game just as well as the kid does. Do you know what I mean? Something like that, maybe?
Sure, why not?
Sure. I feel like you get the party together in the second act. Their first big crisis is they're surviving. They get their first kill. You have the moment where she like literally has to kill somebody to defend the two kids. She realizes how serious this is. The reality of the situation sets in. Blah blah blah. Airdrop's coming. Choice. Do we like the kid's like we gotta get the fuck out of here? She is now truly in the game. She's like survivor mode. She's like, no, we need what's in that airdrop. We're gonna fucking fight for it. And it's the siege. And that's the first thing is like they're not gonna run away from this airdrop. It's gonna come down, land on the roof of their building or whatever. They're hearing trucks come and whatnot, and they fight it off. Right.
You could also do someone gets injured but they know that there's gonna be
like first aid
in that loot drop.
Yeah,
so
there
they,
we go.
they've got to go get it. Yeah. So that is where is that?
That's third act. Like third act is your mini siege action because then basically
there needs to be consequences from that.
Because I'm just trying to think because like your fourth act would essentially be they've survived this trial, they have the bandages or whatever it is, and it's like they figure out something from this. Either the guy that came along to help ends up being player one, player unknown, or whatever it is.
Like that logo.
Fourth act would be the preparation to whatever their new goal is, which we don't have a MacGuffin yet, right? Like if this happened in the plane crash, and this is actually where they're hiding out as they find the plane wreckage. The airdrop comes, they're waiting for it. After they fight everybody off, they're healing the kid, and then the monitor they overhear radio stuff. Because it's like, right, the plane radio's still on.
Sure, whatever, yeah.
Player unknown's talking to the guy who controls the force field or whatever, and they've realized something, and it's like, okay, this gives us our goal to the finale, right? Whatever it is. I'm trying to figure out what that 2 minutes.
They realize that player unknown's in here and that he's in that things have gone wrong for him. He's getting out.
Oh, because it gives them an out. It gets an out. I don't need to kill everybody.
We can get
if
out.
If I find out who player unknown is,
I can make him stop.
I
this
go
whole
put
thing.
a gun to his head and I stop the whole thing and I save the kid.
And player unknown is stuck on this island or whatever it is, right?
It's
like, things have gone wrong.
But we have
Hold on,
minutes,
things have gone wrong. He wants out, or he needs his way out. He needs another plane to get out at the military base, all the way on the other side of the map.
Yeah,
and that's where the final showdown takes place, is on the runway.
Okay, so she finds out what player unknown's gonna be because again, she does not want to. You have that moment.
Stop writing and just focus for a second.
Yeah, you have that moment where the kids are like, "What's gonna happen?" At some point, you're gonna have to kill the two of us. And she's like, and she realizes that's gonna be true. Like, why are you healing? The little skater kid would be like, why are you fighting for the bandages? You can heal me now, but at some point you're gonna have to kill me. And then
that feels like that. Okay, this is the other thing I was gonna say is that feels like once she decides to team up with them, right? Like that's your next big character moment. Is it's only the three of them left. That is a turning point in the story. These kids she's been looking out for. It comes down to just the three of them. Like bear with me, just for a second. Like if they decide, okay, we're gonna go to Severny, right, and like we're gonna hole up there and we're gonna let everybody else kill each other, right? Like that's the plan, right? They get there, they manage to sneak there, and then the fucking loot dropped right on top of us, right? Yeah. And everyone's coming for them, and so then they fucking jack up and they get their shit together, right? And then it's this blazing gunfight, right? And then everyone else is dead. but the three of them and player unknown or something like that. Or like,
I know what you're saying, but
you have to get it to that point.
No, I don't think you do that early because like if it's player unknown, like we gotta go get player unknown is far more exciting if there are still 60 people left. If it's just the three of them, it's like okay, they just won't kill each other at some point. Like it has to be there's people
and
that
there's conflicts all over the island.
It'd be like if we catch player unknown, I will save all 70 people. I ultimately only care about these 3 people, but there are still 50 people in between me and player unknown. Yeah. It's just the 3 of us and player unknown. It's like okay, we'll just wait here, and at some point player unknown will show up, and we'll.
I guess here's what I don't want though. I don't want it to just be like they get to Act 3, there's a cool action scene, they win the action scene, and now something cool happens, and they're able to. Cool. I just want their situation to get more desperate before they make that play. Do you know what I mean?
But I think what the difference is, here's
one of them dies.
Here's why it's more desperate.
One of them is dying. I mean, again, like
so let's do this. One of them's dying, but the reason it's more desperate is they find the safe. They find the wreckage is on this cliff. They get up there. They've survived this onslaught. They have all the best armor. Like their job, like the kid would be like, let's just hide here and see what happens. Like we don't have to move. Like they're in the middle of the circle.
Sure, yeah.
The force. They have the perfect spot. And then it's like, no, we are not going to hide. We're going to go out because we know that player unknown is here, and this is how we're going to save it. It is they are going to have to leave safety.
Why do they have to do that?
Because it's the way of not having to kill everyone.
Going to die. Yes, it's a way of not killing everybody. It's a way that she's not going to have to shoot the 3 of them. She's like, here, in her head, she's like, here's what's going to happen. Eventually, the force field is going to come all the way to us, and let's say for some reason, yes, we all survive. It's going to get to the 3 of us, and then I'm going to shoot the 2 of you, or you're going to shoot the 2 of us, or whatever it is.
Sure, yeah, fair enough. That doesn't seem like enough pressure for some reason. That it's just like, well, we have all of this stuff, we could just wait, but I guess it is. Okay, yeah, all right, fine. Yeah,
it's enough for now.
All right, yeah. So they're going to she's seen enough horrible shit. She's like, this guy is the one controlling it. We could stop this whole thing right now if we go find him, right? Like, so they're going to go hunt him down. Act 4 is them trying to hunt him down.
And then when they get to him, you need whatever the eating the berries moment of Hunger Games is. It's like, what's the ending?
Eating the chicken moment. On the way down, they have to cross through the bridge, and they have to fight through a bunch of bridge trolls. Everyone camping the bridge.
If you want to do this stupid ironic thing, so this is literally out of time. Yep. If you want to do stupid ironic thing, be like, she does like some really cruel person. She splints their leg and then is like, good luck, and she runs off. Like she's not somebody who wants to kill people. Mm-hmm. And they find player unknown, they're in the standoff or whatever, and she's like, stop the game or whatever, and then his head explodes, and she turns, and it's the splinted guy, kills player unknown, just thinking like it's just a random guy, and she's like, you idiot! Like now we're all dead, and I don't know how you solve that. And then the force field is just going down or whatever. I don't know.
Something like that. No, something like that makes sense.
There's a plane, like the player unknown, like the plane crashed. They're sending another plane that's on the runway, and they gotta take it off. That's their way out.
Oh, okay.
Right, they have to fight all the way down to the military base, and that's the plane.
I would make him the MacGuffin because yes, in a movie, if it wasn't the plane, you would. If it was a plane, they get to the plane, and then they get attacked, and then the plane gets blown up, and now they're stuck here, right? And again, this is all about she doesn't want innocent blood on her hands, right? Like she's not gonna fucking pull the trigger to get back to her kids, right? She doesn't want to have to make that choice. You have to make it so that it seems like she's gonna have to make that choice. Yes, end of Act 4 would be like she's like, aha, player unknown's on the island. I'm gonna catch him, and it's gonna be and then it's either not really him or it was. Again, you should totally do it as another mystery thing, like it really wasn't him, but it was like we think it's player unknown, and he gets
you
killed.
Don't get a moniker like player unknown, and people know who you are.
Yeah. Does she get off the island? Are we doing a nihilistic ending?
We got to at least come up with an ending, or I'm not gonna be able to sleep at night. I know we're way over.
You're not gonna be able to sleep at night.
Huh? Well, no, fuck you. We're gonna finish it.
It turns out she's player unknown. Oh,
that's pretty good. No.
The force field's closing in, right? Okay, because yes, it turns out after player okay, what? You got it?
Yeah, it's Skater Kid.
Skater Kid was player unknown.
Yes, it's player unknown. It's the shitty gamer. It's this 16-year-old super whiz kid who she's been healing this whole time. Who of course knows the game perfectly and just wants a mommy, essentially. And of course, in the end, he's gonna kill her because like he does this all the time. At least he has a mom for his birthday.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. He likes feeling taken care of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They kill who's quote unquote player unknown, of course is not actually player unknown, and it's just him and her.
It's him
and
killing
she's like,
her,
great, and it's like, great, the force field should stop now. We got player unknown, let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, why hasn't it stopped? Like, why is player unknown still here? And then it's just the two of us, And she turns and he smiles, and you're like, oh shit.
Because you do, the Girl Scout betrays them.
Yeah.
And the that was so I was looking, what is
the big tragedy moment? She has to kill a Girl Scout, right?
Yeah.
And she can't bring her even if he is player unknown, it's like she can't bring herself to kill 2 kids essentially, right?
But it's literally, it would be like the Girl Scout is trying to kill Skater Boy,
Yeah,
right? And she's like, stop, what are you doing? And then she fucking kills, and she kills directly for him. Yes, and then it brings it up to this moment where
so it's not like the ending is player unknown kills. Because there has to be a sequel. We need more player unknown movies. She realizes it's player unknown. So I was like, yeah, it's toxic gamer culture shithead.
Hold on, really quick. Brendan Green.
No,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
This is just us trying to. We don't know you at all.
That's a good
some of my
ending,
friends hung out at
being
E3.
Skater Boy
Everyone
is
says
really
you're rad.
choice.
Yeah.
We're just trying to. Sorry.
You know this person? You've hung out with them?
We've had we were one circle away. We've with some of the,
all right,
like,
Brendan,
Brendan, sorry.
We love your whole style, and we love this game.
I played this game so much. Please don't ban me from. I love this game so much.
No. But I like that. I like that turn. That yes, it would be like, aha, like end of Act 4. Like we've got you, player unknown, and then he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, or like he and it is the guy that is like the mysterious asshole, right? You're like, of course it's that fucking guy. And then blam, he gets killed, and it's the kid who kills him, right? And then it's like, holy shit, and she realizes who he is, and that he's been, sort of playing her essentially, because he just wants to feel taken care of. He just wants to feel loved. It's so good.
And then the twisted thing at the end is they have chicken dinner and a birthday cake.
Yeah.
And they talk about it, like what he does, why he does this.
Yeah.
And she's like panicking, and then it's like, maybe this is going to turn out okay. And then he gets the next moment. He's like, I really appreciate you like being here on my birthday or whatever.
Yeah.
And he stands up, pulls out a gun, and shoots her in the head.
No, she escapes the island.
She escapes?
Yeah, no.
Oh, you think that yes. Well, he has to build up. Like she dies. He stands up, pulls out a gun, and then she's like, goodbye, motherfucker. And he realizes like she planted a bomb on it or whatever it is. She gets out, right?
Yeah, it would be something like, because she's got to be the one that got away. Because you would do like, this is the negation of the negation, to quote Robert McGee, like your real oh shit moment is like, this is the island of dead mothers.
Yeah.
Like there are so many moms have come before her, like just these nice women that got abducted because this kid needed to feel love on his birthday, right? And like every other mom has failed this final test somehow. But I like that you do that. Yeah, no, she's a bad motherfucker. She's getting back to her kids. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't trust this little shit any farther than she can throw him. And then he goes to it's like oh shit, no bullets moment.
It's like the perfect like your mom. Anybody who's like 13 watching this, your mom knows when you jack off. So this is like the ultimate. This is like the ultimate.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
This is like the ultimate. This is like the ultimate. She's like, of course I knew it was fucking you. I can smell a shitty brat kid a mile away. It's like, I don't know exactly when she figured it out. Obviously, like not from the beginning, but you do. He stands up, pulls the gun out. Of course, she's figured
no
out.
Bullets. No bullets.
No bullets. Yeah, it's taken or whatever it is. She kills him. She escapes off the airplane that came to pick him up. She waited for the last moment because she needed a way off the island.
Oh, you do, and then he's got
the plane comes and he's like, well, my ride's here. Like, thanks for everything. Stands up, goes to shoot her. She kills him, escapes, gets on the airplane, and flies away.
And she becomes a new player unknown.
Like the pilot is just like really weird. She's like, congratulations, man, for winning. She calls her kid.
You could do. I mean, if you wanted to do a fun twist, right? Yeah. You would be. It's like she gets onto the plane to fly off at the end, and then she's sitting there.
Player unknown.
No. She's sitting there, and then she starts to fall asleep, right? And then she wakes up, and she's
sequel.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. All right. Very quickly. Then we're done. I swear to God. All right. So Act 1, she's on the plane. Ah, shit. I'm late to pick up my kids. God damn it. And then like, no, we're on this fucking plane to Murder Island. Shit goes crazy, right? Like the fucking the first badass Samuel L. Jackson in Deep Blue Sea guy jumps out and gets sucked into the engine. The plane's going down. This poor kid is too scared to jump out, so she helps him, and they jump out together, right? And then he's with her on the island, and it's like, hey, this is the game. This is from Player.
I'll help you out.
I'll help you out. All right, kid, you got a deal. Let's go to that island. And
I love that, by the way, he picked the person who was nice to him to essentially help, right? If you're doing this player 1, watching it again, it's like he picks the person who's nice to him to lead to the chicken dinner.
Yeah. So he's gonna little does she know he's gonna help her get the chicken dinner, right? So then they along the way they meet the Girl Scout who's this rugged survivalist who's like, we're all gonna have to betray each other eventually, right? Like this doesn't, so like then they're teaming up with her. They get to the
critical moment where one of them's wounded. Yeah, the airdrop's coming. They have this big fight for survival.
Yeah, it's do we run or do we stay? And there's medical supplies in that airdrop. We need to stay, and so they they tool up, and then they have this badass mini family together, right?
Yep.
The mom and the kid. It's like the nuclear family, and they fucking ice everybody, and they survive. And then they discover, holy shit, they figure out who PlayerUnknown
She finds
is.
a solution, like, I'm going to find a way to save all three of us.
Yeah, we're all getting off this island together,
Yeah.
right? And then Act 4 is we're going to go confront PlayerUnknown. He's got to have a way off this island. They confront him.
They find him. Act 5 is the confrontation.
Yeah, and along the way, the Girl Scout betrays them.
Yeah.
Your low point is her having to kill the Girl Scout,
Yeah.
and then having this blood on her hands, and like that feeling like a failure. They think PlayerUnknown, but oh shit, it was really Skater Boy.
Yeah.
After this whole fight to go get to the guy, right? And then they bring him down, and then you have the chicken dinner
just
comes
the
out.
two of them
It's
left.
just the two of them, and it's like what the fuck? And then just this butler comes out of nowhere with a little cart and 2 chairs, and then
Master
a chicken dinner.
Skater Boy.
And then so then they have their chicken dinner.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Thanks for taking care of me. I didn't have a mom growing up, and I always wanted to know what that felt like.
Yeah.
Like that's why this is what this has all been about. Like that's
Hope
what
you had fun.
I hope you had fun." And then his ride shows up, and then but she's got one up on him because she's like because moms
No
know
bullets or
because
whatever.
moms know when
when
you
you're
jack
jacking
off. Yeah. That's the theme of the movie is moms know when you're cranking it. You think you can pull one over on your mom and you can't. And then for him it's the most heartbreaking part of it, right? Because in his moment of death he realizes she truly was the mother he was looking for. All the other dead moms failed the test, but he was like, oh my god, it's like she's the one that got away or whatever.
Yeah.
She gets onto the plane and he's like bleeding out and he's like, mommy, you know what I mean? Like that should be the last thing he says as she flies off.
All right, so that's 2 twisted Mother's Day stories.
Dark Mother's Day double feature from the
that's always
story
when you
break.
do
Once
2 movies
again,
in a row.
apologies,
Yeah.
Brendan Green. Again, sorry.
Brendan Green, we think you're fantastic. We love
Yeah.
your game.
I mean, I won't say you're fan. I don't know you.
I don't know
but
you.
I know you're probably not Skater Boy. As we
I
came
know
up with.
we probably know you're probably not. If we all wake up on an island tomorrow,
We'll know.
We'll know.
Yeah.
But thanks for letting us. I mean, you didn't let us, but thanks for thanks for hearing our story. If you are listening to this, but yeah, no judgment. This was just a goofy story.
And by the way, there's and for those of you action junkies who are like, yeah, but what about bridge trolls? What about the military base fight? There's
All those things
things
happen in the movie.
in the 8 episode webisode companion of the side stories that happen during the thing.
Honestly, they
their
would
journey,
definitely.
their journey to the place, and then their journey.
But
to
on top
capture,
of that, your 8 episode
but there are
webs.
they definitely go across the bridge.
Definitely 8 episode webisodes.
There's definitely a bridge thing.
And you run into people, and you can find out all of their stories on the website, web companion, and app download that you can get.
You can check it out on Boost Mobile.
I won't half-ass it. That this movie is going to give you everything you want. You won't want a sequel or a web series. I'm just saying that PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, as we just cracked it, will be everything.
By the way, congratulations on making a PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds adaptation that every person who plays the game will probably just be like, "What? This sucks."
Yeah, probably.
Congratulations, everybody! We did it. We managed to make.
Be
the
nice
one.
to your moms.
Be nice to your mom's
What was,
gamers.
did you guys see that? Did you guys?
Big gamers.
Story break out. Be nice to your mom. Peace.
That's it.
Hey folks, Freddie here, doing a little bit something different here for the outro because over these next couple of weeks, both Matt and Will and myself for a small amount of time are going to be out of town, so the next one may even be coming at you from the road. Thank you so much, everybody who listened to this episode, and for everybody who submitted some Dirty Dan pics and posters and taglines, of which there were some real choice ones. I want to just quickly run through them. We're going to be posting these, of course, on our website, storybreak.rocketjump.com. We have cool friend Albino Penguin with another fantastic poster. This one's set in some sort of like, it looks like Paris maybe, and you're doing kind of like a RoboCop like 80s font, and there's rose petals. Yeah, it's kind of anime inspired with that one. Tom O'Byrne with using, of course, the Dirty Dancing font and just losing the CIN, the sing part of it, and what appears to be stock footage of a Dragunov and a fat dude with goggles on a motorcycle. So really kind of, I think, capturing the spirit and the essence of Dirty Dan. Lord's Biggers and Manti FX has a fantastic tagline, which was Dirty Dan Mother's Day, and it's, I believe, the back of a bullet, but instead of like the primer, it's a heart. And the tagline for this one is, sometimes true love means getting your hands a little dirty. So Lawrence, thank you so much for that one. Handful of suggestions. Alexei Tretyakov suggests a simpler plot for Dirty Dan. It just has a broken harp or heart and has to give real love to the one that needs to be healed / repair his harp at the same time. It's like kind of a fix yourself, fix your object that you like thing. Wasn't Dirty Dancing trick as far as the using that as the title. Not the only person. Dylan Marouche coming in with a Dirty Dan like riding across the Arizona desert or the Nevada desert as a nuclear bomb goes off behind them. My favorite one this week, though, from Cool Film Articles at Absolute Travest. Oh my goodness. So it's somebody, there's a guy like leaning a motorcycle, like a sports bike over. There's a different set of muscular legs edited in, if not even a muscular arm. I can't even tell. Which I think it's a muscular arm into fake Teva sandals, into like a Barrett like 50 cal dragging and sparking along the floor. And the tagline is Damned Daniel from Blasphemous Losers and their Asian friend, which of course is us, gunning for the president. God's love in a bullet, gay for Jesus. For those of you out there with pipe and hot poster designs ready to share with the world, hit us up on Twitter at RJ Storybreak, and we'll see them. We may mention them in future episodes, and we'll put them up on our website. So until next week, thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you later.